This summer, my wife and I basically lived in our backyard. What started as a patch of grass turned into weeks of digging, building, hauling rocks, and trying to turn this space into our own oasis.
It is going to look beautiful eventually, but we have to deal with this situation before we can deal with that.
We worked so hard for 4 months straight, transforming each area of our backyard one by one. But in my opinion, we saved the best project for last. Drumroll please. The pond build. From the first shovel in the ground to the moment we finally turned on the waterfall, this project tested our patience, our planning, and maybe even our marriage a little bit. But I just want to give up.
You've done harder things.
The planning for this process started at the very beginning of the series. We wanted the pond to be far enough away from the house to feel like its own oasis, but not far enough away that running electrical to it would be difficult. We discussed a few different options, keeping in mind that the pond would also include a stream and a waterfall component.
Option 1, waterfall right here, trickles down.
And then it can fall into it here, and then over here is where the skimmer will be, basically.
So from here you'd see it from the fire pit. Obviously you'd see it from the vegetable garden, but you don't sit in the vegetable garden. You would kind of see it from the sunken area. Well, if you're sitting here, you don't see much of anything, which is fine. It's fine, but you would hear it. The other option is it starts over here, trickles down and comes into the pond from this side, which is nice for if you're sitting here. Because if you're sitting here, you'll see the full thing.
Being able to see the water feature from different areas of the yard was super important to us, so we kept that in mind while planning the project. Now, unlucky for us, our yard is on a significant slope, which complicates things when it comes to placement of a waterfall. Ideally, in a waterfall, you'd want the water to follow the natural slope of the yard, but that wouldn't be the case for us. We like to struggle. If there's a harder way to do things, that's the way we're doing it.
Yeah, which that's not much. That's easy.
Imagining 2 chairs, little Muskoka chairs, and we're sitting like this. And feeding our koi
like
fish.
This.
We're face to face with the koi. But
we're sitting like this.
So after initially digging the space level, we spent 2 days building a pergola, which would add a nice structure to overlook the pond, followed by a week of prep, followed by a week of laying pavers in a herringbone formation, which would create a walkway that leads to the pond. Once again, there are easier ways to do things, but we chose the hard way.
What does herringbone look like again?
But despite taking longer and being more work, the end result was so worth it. I should mention that before starting the pond, we also laid so much armor stone to create a garden wall along the fence, stain the fence, and prep the garden, which you will see later in this video.
You think you can do it?
Yeah, I can easily do that.
Hula this.
Now, let's get down to business. Once everything was complete, we were able to start planning and digging our backyard pond. The pond kit we used allowed for an 11 by 16 foot pond with a 12-foot stream including the waterfalls. We had built upon this waterfall before in our front yard, which is a great video to watch after this one. It was a much easier project, which we quickly learned because, like I said, we were working against the slope of our yard. Transparently, we were lucky enough to team up with Aquascape to complete this project.
This is our 10 by 20 heavy duty underlayment. This is our smart dosing system, which adds, feeds the pond basically. This is supplies for that and some lighting.
That's color changing lighting?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they spoiled us.
Yeah, this is just the pond liner, 10 by 20. That's for a stream.
Ooh. A mug? That is so fun. Koi cards?
spotlight. Oh, nice. They gave us a good lighting transformer, so we don't have to buy one.
And look at what else they gave us. A log, babe.
They provided all of the components to build the pond and stream, as well as additional lighting and the smart dosing system. We paid out of pocket for the rocks and boulders, which was quite expensive given the amount that we needed. Everything is sold by the pound, so if you are planning to add one of these water features to your own home, that is something to consider.
So this is the skimmer that is going to be placed over here, right? Okay, I'm gonna put the plug on the one thing because you can do 2 pumps if you want, and there's the option to actually have an overflow like hole. So if the pond gets too full, obviously it comes out of that instead of over the sides, but I'm not too worried about that. We're not having any leaks. I think that's backwards. I think that should have been the other way.
Oh no.
The rubber on the outside.
Oh no.
Or rubber on the inside, I mean. I looked at the instructions briefly.
Oh boy.
The pump is gonna sit in here.
Okay.
The pipe's gonna come up in here, and that flexible hose is gonna attach glue to here and run up to the waterfall. We'll dig this corner to get this dropped in, and I'll dig back a little as well around the shape.
Looking back, we definitely should have rented a mini excavator to dig the pond because the tractors we were using were undersized for the job and created 3 times as much work just to get the dirt out.
How's it going?
I don't think very good.
Why?
I feel like I'm just digging chaotically. And this doesn't have the reach to get it out of here, so now I'm gonna be double moving it. Like, I really think I should just put it in the bucket.
Okay.
The excavator also could have been used to place all the large boulders, but live and learn.
Oh, and in case anybody's typing right this second, why doesn't he just drive the... Is this moving? It's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. That's why. It's because you can get it in, but you couldn't get it back out.
You're about there?
Yeah, babe.
Wow. We can bring it all the way to here.
Oh, good.
That's 16, which makes sense for this. Maybe take this corner off, kind of like go like that with it so that it's not so football-ish.
Okay.
We tested to make sure that the liner would fit the space we had dug before moving on to digging for the stream and waterfall.
I have a feeling it's like this.
Okay.
Ours fit perfectly, so now we could plan out how we wanted the stream and waterfall to drop into the pond.
For the waterfall, you tell me what you were thinking, then I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Well, it's gonna drop in here.
Okay.
No?
Well, what else?
I don't know.
So I thought that this would be kind of like mounded up more, right?
Yeah.
And like tapered into there so that it kind of builds it up. But then I thought it would be like, the top of the waterfall would be like here, boom, 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 with the stream that brings it out. Like all of this would be stream basically. And then I thought that it would actually drop in more so over here. But it does have the opportunity to do one drop from there with the stream, and then the rest of it drops in there. What do you think about that?
How do you do that?
I don't know.
In order to create the stream and waterfall, we basically had to regrade our property so that the water could run opposite the existing slope of our yard. This involved moving a ton of dirt, 40 yards total in fact, which you will see more later on. This would also make it so the area around the pond would seamlessly blend into the surrounding yard after landscaping.
Next up is trenching for the plumbing. That's gonna go all the way around, which would have been easier to do while we had the trencher, but we didn't know what exactly this project was gonna look like at the time, so we didn't do it then.
Once everything was dug out and graded, it was time to set the skimmer box in place. We had to get it at just the right height to control the water level. The skimmer is where the pump sits, and that's also where all the plumbing connects and runs up to the top of the waterfall, also known as the biofalls.
Should we keep digging the trench to where we need to be?
Probably.
So
No,
that at
no.
least it's bare.
Can you guys also please give this video a like? I always forget to ask for likes, but if you don't mind, we would appreciate it.
If you like it.
If it's not too much trouble, if you could just give it a thumbs up, that would be great.
So that's 16 from there.
Okay, that's getting better.
So that's 16 inches above water line.
Okay, that's nicer. A more dramatic drop in.
And then it has enough room to run and then drop another like 7 or 8. So if you want, we could raise this up a little more.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my favorite view of it. I'm very excited to see this all coming together because this is all going to be landscaped with the little kind of river that'll loop around, drop in. I wanted it to be viewable from all the different angles of the yard. So if you're sitting over in the loungers, you can see the pond area. Like, you have a beautiful view either way. But if you're coming around the yard from this side, you've got the waterfall, you've got the stream, and this whole area will be filled in with trees. It's going to be very beautiful.
Next, we laid down the underlayment fabric and then the liner.
We'll try and swing it in.
Oh,
With that done, we were ready to start rocking in the pond.
Yeah, this is sweet, eh?
yeah. Next. Now it's time for all the little rocks. Those ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just start kind of rocking it in.
Oh, baby. He's using rock puns.
Wow, those fit perfect together.
Great.
We began at the bottom with 8 to 10 inch granite river rock. The pond ended up being about 2 feet deep with a 1 foot shelf all the way around the edge where the larger boulders would go.
Wow, this is fun.
Oh, boy.
See what I'm creating though?
Beautiful, babe.
That's good, right?
Yeah, looks great.
This is looking so good. And it's so much easier than I thought.
Oh, good.
The lower walls were built by carefully fitting the smaller rocks together almost like a puzzle. In order to add stability and keep them in place, we backfilled all the smaller voids with 1/4 inch pea gravel as we went. To add some variation and keep it looking natural, we decided to add some of the larger boulders in the lower area as well.
How's that?
Beautiful. Looks good to me, babe. Final pieces of phase 1.
The easy part.
Well, easy if you have 8 people doing it.
That's true. No secret crew here.
Baby! Can you imagine if we actually did have a secret crew and like we just film ourselves doing like moments and then there's actually like 12 people who come in behind the scenes and finish everything for us?
I don't know how you would secretly do that.
I don't know. I'm sure people have done like weirder things. Now what we're trying to figure out how to do is to get these boulders to the other side of the pond because we can't drive over it with our tractor, so it might be a little bit of trial and error. I just hope we don't have to lift them.
Just see if it can even pick it up first.
We tried a few different ways to use the equipment we had to achieve this, but it just wasn't working.
It's not gonna reach.
Again, this would have been a lot easier with a mini excavator if we had rented one, but that wasn't the case, so we ended up moving all these boulders around the pond by hand where we couldn't reach.
This is gonna be a very slow process if that's the case. Let's just try lifting first and see if we can lift it.
We'll never get that up there.
No.
And that's as far as this thing will reach.
Okay.
Try again.
1, 2, 3.
No,
Okay.
we can't lift it.
Once the main pond was wrapped up, it was time to start on the stream and waterfall, and honestly, that turned out to be the hardest part of this whole build.
Ooh. Okay, so you're sitting here, you see the waterfall in front of you. So that'll be like one and then the other one.
That'll trickle down.
Okay, this is a good view.
This is great.
Okay, now we try a different location. If you're sitting at the fire pit,
Yeah. You can see that
you'll
waterfall.
See that one. Yeah, and you'll see
You'll
the
see
tier in
it coming
front.
off.
Yeah, okay. Let's try somewhere else. From this side.
You'll see that waterfall,
Oh yeah, that's kind of perfect.
and you'll see that just spilling over from the side.
When it came to the stream, we knew that we wanted 2 separate waterfalls flowing into the pond, which definitely made things tricky since we only had 1 spillway and 1 liner to work with.
Yeah, this will work. That's enough to bring it down into this little area, right? That's gonna have to overlap onto that liner. Yeah, that's plenty. It was just a test fit.
Oh.
The other liner is going to overlap right into there, and it's going to overlap kind of this the best we can. I'd like to get the water into that from here,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's possible. This is just the part that I'm having a hard time with because it's not like this is straight off it going towards it like this. It's sideways, so you got to make sure you have enough overlap with the liner and stuff like that, which is crucial.
We spent hours placing boulders and shaping what we thought was going to be the perfect stream, but it just wasn't working. And keep in mind, it was just the 2 of us doing this with no real experience building ponds or waterfalls.
Like, I'm feeling nauseous.
Okay, take a breather.
Moving and positioning these massive stones by hand was a serious workout, and every rock seemed to fit almost right, but not quite. Still, that's what made it so fun, working with natural stones, each one a different shape and size, and figuring out how they all fit together to make something that looked completely natural.
Right? You don't want these all touching necessarily.
No. And it's kind of pretty, so maybe it should be on the inside.
So if we put it on the inside and then put like a couple of those other ones there,
Yeah.
we can just backfill some dirt against here because we're going to have to anyway for because those aren't sunk in the ground, right? We have to raise this, so we're going to have to put some stuff around there after too. But we thought that big one was going to go here, remember? Oh, you know what? That'd be great to put that here off the corner of this, right here, right? And then, cause then you can put dirt and it's all gonna look buried in here, and this will.
And then what? This is real life. A project we've never done before. We've done the waterfall, but this is very different. A lot more thinking involved and a lot more time spent trying to execute this.
Looking back, the
perfectly.
waterfall was so easy because it was literally built into a hill. I've basically built a staircase of rocks. We're gonna pick it up and try and flip it over.
After staring at it for way too long, I finally said, no, we can do better.
I don't like any of this. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good news first.
It's cool out today.
Oh,
And it's supposed to
you're
be cool all
pulling on
day.
me? Okay, the bad news is we have to redo this.
We have to pull every single rock out, but we have a tractor.
Oh, yippee. Smash that like button. Like I'm gonna smash my head into a boulder.
So we pulled every single rock back out and started fresh.
What?
This feels heavy, doesn't it?
It's very heavy. We've moved it like 4 times already.
With a clean slate, we reshaped the area and it finally started to come together. Rock by rock, it slowly turned into exactly what we had imagined, and honestly, seeing it all come to life after so much hard work was incredibly rewarding.
Oh my god. Getting weaker every day.
Mentally and physically. And financially.
Yes.
In order to continue building the waterfall, we needed to add more dirt to raise the elevation and backfill against the rocks that we've already placed. We continued by placing the final boulders to create the finished waterfall and stream area. If I could give one piece of advice that I learned by the time we reached this point in the project, it would be to take your time and not rush things. You aren't going to be looking at one rock when the whole water feature is complete, you will see it as the bigger picture. Place a couple rocks, step back and look at the project as a whole, and remember, things can be tweaked after you turn the water on for the first time. The next thing to do was adding waterfall foam sealant to all the cracks and joints. This is done to help divert the water over the waterfall rocks and keep it from just running underneath them.
So this light is gonna shoot across the pond. That one will light up underneath the waterfall. That one will light up underneath that little waterfall. And this one will shoot across and up. And then I have 2 more up there. I don't know if we'll need all of them, but we'll see.
This is our lighting transformer for in the pond. It's gonna get mounted to the side of this post. Plug in. It comes with this little 3-way splitter attachment so we can run 3 lights.
Aquascape sent us a variety of color changing lights to add to the water feature, which really enhances the entire look of the space. At this point, I am unboxing the equipment for the skimmer box. The check valve is screwed into the top of the pump, which keeps the water from flowing backwards down the system when it's turned off. The weir door on the front of the skimmer is where the water draws in and any leaves and debris is collected inside the skimmer basket. Beneath that, there is a filter that captures any fine particles and debris that might have got through the basket. The pump sits in the very bottom, which sucks the water in and forces it up to the top of the biofalls. The biofalls consist of 2 filter pads near the bottom and then 2 bags of media balls that sit above them. The water flows up from the bottom through these filters and media and spills out the front, creating the first waterfall. The biofalls comes with a rock tray that helps disguise the spillway by allowing you to place rocks and even aquatic plants directly over and around the water at the top. This helps to give it a nice natural finished look.
Oh boy, this stuff is filthy. I want to show you guys one of my favorite parts. We added in this beautiful rock that I had been saving to use in our stream. So it is perfectly carved out, as you can see, so that the water can pass right through it. It's one of my favorite rocks. And I want to show you guys, we also got our log placed. Came with the aquascape kit. I think we're going to keep it here so the water spills underneath that over the waterfall. Would look really pretty. Now we're ready to move on to some landscaping.
Once the water portion of this project was wrapped up, the only thing left to do was finish the landscaping around it. Remember when I said we brought in 40 yards of topsoil? Well, this is where the bulk of it went. Because we raised the biofalls so far out of the ground, I needed to raise the ground around it as well to feather it out and create a more natural looking slope rather than this volcano appearance. This was quickly achieved thanks to the Kubota tractor, and we're at our favorite stage, the planting.
Like that little shelf you have there, it'd be cool to have something come across there. You know, we do have like a big tree branch you could use as like a retaining wall there.
Oh, he's getting crazy.
Or would that be like really weird?
I don't know, he suggested a tree trunk right before this. You can like really tell the mound from this side, but from the other side, it finally looks like it's the same level as the
Oh, it looks fantastic.
fire pit.
Basically just bring this down. I need a little break though.
You want to eat?
Yeah. You should leave that in.
No.
That is so funny.
All the plants for the landscape were supplied by Landscape Direct, and you can use code Sabrina10 to receive a discount on your order. I always enjoy this part of any outdoor project the most because there is no right or wrong and things can be easily changed down the road to make things look better. I ended up running wire and installing landscape lighting around the outside of the pond as well, which is from Amazon and will be linked in the description. I highly recommend these lights. They are the same ones we used in our front yard earlier this year and have been great.
All of our hard work got us to this moment.
Yeah, I love everything.
How you feel?
Tired, but tired, relieved, and happy.
There were many moments during this build that I wanted to give up, but I'm so glad that I didn't because this is really the most amazing outcome we could have hoped for. The only regret I have is that we didn't do it sooner. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. If you want to see more of this project, there are other videos on my channel as well as Sabrina's channel. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please subscribe.